Okay. So in the last session, we have discussed the types of relationship in JPA we have. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll implement in the code actually. So I have the organization and the employee. Okay, and I want to implement the one-to-many relationship between them. So I want to implement the relationship between them actually. So as I told, an organization is a one which will be having the multiple employee details. So we already added this property. Now we need to assign the relationship between them. So before we don't have any relationship between them. So now let me add the relationship between these two. Okay. So now what I'll do is, in order to add the relationship between these two, so we have to identify what type of relationship it is. So organization is the one, and we have a list of employees in the organization. So it is one to many relationship. You will be using a annotation called one to many, one to many. Okay. So you'll be using annotation called one to many. So in one to many, the one to many annotation will be taking the multiple attributes. Cascade is the one, fetch is the one, mapped by is the one, orphan removal is the one, target entity is the one. So these are the few different types of attributes. We will discuss cascade, fetch, and the orphan removal. Okay. So now let's first discuss the cascade property. So the cascade property, so we have different types of cascade rules actually. So for example, let me write the cascade, cascade, cascade goes to cascade type, cascade type dot. Here we have all, detach, merge, persist, refresh, remove. So these are the different types of cascade properties. Let me explain one by one. So first we have a persist. So if we are choosing the cascade property as a persist, what it will do is, whenever you are you are performing the relationship between the two objects, right? So if we are saving the organization, by default it will save the employee details into the organization and the employee details table. Okay, it will just save it. Okay, so if we remove any, if for example, if I remove the organization from the organization table, it should not delete the child. Actually here organization is the parent and employee is the child actually. Whenever I remove the entry from the child, by default it should remove the entry from the employee table as well, right? So let me explain the cascade properties. Cascade will be having the properties called persist and remove all, and so many other properties we have. Okay. So now what we'll discuss is, we'll discuss the persist actually. We will discuss the persist. So when you choose the cascade property as the persist, what will happen is, let's say you have a two tables. One is organization table, the other one is employee table. So these are the two tables you have. So now we are adding a relationship between the one to many relationship between the one to many relationship between these two tables. Okay. So now if I choose the cascade property, if I choose the cascade property as a persist, choose the cascade property as a persist. So if I add a new entry into the employee table, let's say the employee table, let me write the complete table, what exactly employee table will be having, what exactly the organization table will be having. Organization table will be having the org name, right? And it will be having the address, contact number. These are the few properties we have added. In the same way, so we have an employee, we have an employee ID, and we have a name, and we have a salary. These are the some of the properties we have added. So now we are maintaining the relationship between them. Now what we will do is we'll take the primary key of this organization into the employee. So now when organization will be going to the employee, organization name is the primary key, right? When this primary key going to the employee table, it will be acting as a foreign key, right? Yes or no? It is acting as a foreign key. Okay, foreign key. In one table, in organization table, this would be acting as a primary key. Wait, this is also a primary key. In employee table, it is a foreign key. So now let's say if I use the cascade property as a persist, if I use the cascade property as a persist, it will add an entry. For example, organization, it is adding in fee, and address is easy, and the contact number is so and so contact number. And the employee ID, I'll say 123 is the employee ID, or I can say just 1 is the employee ID, and the employee name is XYZ, and the salary is some salary, and the organization name is again Infi. Because the same details, whatever the details you are adding into the whatever the organization name you are adding into the organization table, the same organization name will be adding over to the employee to maintain the relationship between these two. Okay, so now when I use cascade property as a persist, so it will happen, it will save the organization, it will save the data both in the organization and the employee details table. Okay, so now if I remove organization, if I remove the organization details from the organization table, this details will not be deleted. This details table will not be deleted because you have given the cascade property as a persist. If you give the cascade property as a persist, whenever you are adding the data at that time only, it will add it. Okay. If you are removing the organization name from the organization table, so it will not remove the entry in the employee table. It is called, this is now orphan record. This is now orphan record. Let me remove that. Let me remove this entry. I have removed this entry. Now there is no relationship between this entry now, as I have already deleted the organization details. Right? I have deleted the organization details. Now there is no relationship between the employee and the organization. So now I'll add one more entry, Wipro. So address is again easy. Contact number is 1234. Same again in ID2 will be created. Let's say ABC is the person who has ABC is the person name, and the salary is something like this, and the organization name is Wipro. Okay. So this is called orphan record, which doesn't have any parent. See here, it doesn't have any parent. Na? So if you use cascade property as a persist, if you remove any record from your organization table, so you will be cutting the relationship between the the organization and the employee, because you don't have any organization name in the organization table, right? We have an entry in the employee, but there is no entry in the organization, so it is kind of orphan record only, na? Okay. So now here we have a relationship. Here we have a relationship between them. So when I again delete the Wipro organization, when I delete the when I delete the organization details from the organization table, again this entry becomes the orphan. Okay. So like this, so they like this orphan records will be increasing. In order to solve this one, not to solve this one, so they introduce one more cascade property called detach. So what this detach will do, whatever the orphan records are there, it will remove the orphan records from the employee table. Okay. So there is one more cascade property, remove. So it will remove the, so if you, for example, I'll be using the cascade property called remove. What it will do, it will remove this entry only, but it will not remove the relationship object as well. It will not remove the relationship object. It will just remove this entry only. Okay. So then we have one more property called cascade property called all. What it will do? It will save the details. It will update the details. It will update the details. It will remove the details. It will retrieve the details as well. It will get the details as well. So these are the things it will perform. So it is better to use all right among all these things because it is performing save operation. Okay, once we save, by default the related data will be saved. Once we update, the related entry will be updated. For example, I want to update the address to Whitefield, so I can update it. Okay, the respected object will also update it. So whenever I call the Wipro, whenever I want to get the Wipro related details, by default all these details will be coming back. Okay, so then remove. If I want to remove an entry, for example, I want to remove this entry, organization details I want to remove, and whatever the related objects are there tagged to that organization. In the sense, here we have organization details, Wipro, and whoever the employees tagged to the Wipro, I want to remove all those details as well. So definitely we can remove it when you are using all get. So if you want to retrieve all the, if I want to get the organization details with the employee details as well. Okay, then you have to use get. So it is better to use the cascade property as all right when it comes to the all these things. Okay, so understood about the cascade. So now we'll give the cascade property as a cascade type, and we'll give the cascade property as a all. Okay. So the next thing, we have to provide the fetch type. So normally, what is exactly fetch type in the sense? So it will uh fetch, it will fetch the employee details when we are when we are starting the application. So there are two types of fetch types actually. They are eager and lazy. Let me come back to the notepad again. So we have two types of fetch types, FTs. They are early and lazy. This is kind of early loading and lazy loading. Early loading, if you go for the early loading, it will retrieve the data. It will get the data of a list of employees at the time of starting application. If you opt lazy loading, whenever you are calling the get employee details method, okay, whenever you are calling the get employee details method, then only it will get the details from the DB or from the cache. Okay, so always give the fetch type as lazy because see, whenever the application needed, then only we have to load the data. Unnecessarily, if we are loading the data at the runtime, it will take a lot of time to load the application. As you are loading a lot of data, application will be having a tons of data. Okay, so you if you write early, right, application will take a lot of time to load up. Okay, so do not write early, always write lazy. But in some cases, in organizations, your lead or some other people will tell we have to write the early for this. We have to load the details at the startup itself. So then you have to go for the early. Okay, by default, you should add lazy as a fetch type. So let's go back to my Spring Tool suite. Uh, what is this? This is mine only. Okay. So now what you have to do? You have to add the fetch type as a lazy. Now you have added the fetch type. So the last annotation, what you have to do is you have to use the foreign key. You have to use the foreign key, which is joining the two tables. So in organization, we have an organization name as the primary key, and you want to add this organization to the employee table. So where you have to give the foreign key at the property level. So where you want to provide the, where you want to give the foreign key on the property level, you have to write the joining column name. Okay. So we have an annotation called join column. So join column will be joining the two tables. So we'll be giving the column name as org name because that is the primary key in our organization table. So give the same name. Let me copy the name. Let me paste it over here. Okay, fine, done. This is what we have to do. One-to-many annotation. If you want to provide the one-to-many relationship between the two organization and employee, so you have to create a collection. The collection will be taking the the object as a type, and on the top of that property, what you have to do, you have to write at one-to-many, and you have to give the cascade type. So what cascade type you want to use? So I have used the all, and you have to give the one more property called fetch when you want to load these details. So fetch type always decide when you have to get these employee details at the runtime only, or whenever get employee details method is called, at that time I have to at that time the Spring container should fetch the details, or no or what. So this is what it will understand based on the fetch type. It will understand if it is eager, it will load and start up. If it is a lazy, whenever we are making a call to the get employee details, at that time only it will call. And the next thing what we have discussed join column, right? So in the join column, so if you want to join two tables, organization and the employee table, so we should give one we should give the primary key, assign the primary key. We should give the primary key which will be acting as a foreign key in the employee table. Okay, we should add a organization entry in this employee table. Okay, let's go on run this application. Let's see. Let me run the application. Come on, man, come on, run. We don't have time. Run as Spring Boot application. Fine. Yes. Let me show you. Here it will generate a query. It will create a table, both organization and the employee tables. It will create now. Yes. See, see here. We copy this, and it is altered the table, employee details table as well, and added the foreign key. Organization name is the foreign key, which is there in the organization table. Where is my notepad? Here. See, create table, employee details, employee ID, employee name and the salary, organization name, contact number, headquarters, and altering the table, employee details. So it is adding the foreign key. That foreign key is organization name, and the reference is from organization table. It is adding it in. Okay, let me jump to the SQL ag and let me show you. See here, let me refresh this one. So here two tables are added. One is the organization. So organization will be having organization name, contact number, and headquarters. and the employee details. So employee details will be having the employee ID, employee name, salary, and the organization name. Okay, now you are adding as a foreign key. You can see here. So there is a key symbol. It is coming, right? So it is a foreign key. Now let's go and test this application. Let me open my Postman. Open my Postman. Yeah, organization. See, I am sending the yesterday I was practice this week. So I am sending the multiple employee details which are there for the organizations. Okay. So when I send the request, organization details will be added to the organization table, and employee details, all these employee details will be added to the employee table. देखा दे चलो come. Yeah, my goodness. Okay, so we got 200 as a success response. See, these are the details I'm sending it, and I got this response. I got this response. Okay, so let me go to the SQL AG and let me show you. So let me refresh this one. All these employee details and the organization details are added. See here, organization name is Wipro, contact number is this one, and headquarters is VC Bangalore. Okay, so for this organization, we have multiple employees are tagged actually. So they are Ayan, Hayat, Sufyan, Akif. So these are the employees which I have tagged. Okay, 1 minute. Girl. Record. So here I'm changing the organization now. So I'm changing the contact number as well. 901234. I don't want to give these names. I'll give ABC because I don't want to delete these names. XYZ. And I'll give this, X1, Y1, Z1. Okay, it is giving hash Y1, Z1. And I want to give the different name. Okay, fine. Let me send the request. Now, info details and the headquarters and the contact numbers and the employee details which I'm giving over here, right? All these details will be added to the organization employee tables. So we got the success response. Let's go and check to the SQL AG. So let me go to the organization. So we have an entry, info, contact number, and the headquarters. Let me check the employee details table as well. So we have like these many entries we came, right? ABC, XY, ABC, employee salary, Infosys, XYZ, employee salary, Infosys, X1, Z1, employee salary, Infosys, Kunsuk Wangdu, this one and this one. So now when I remove the info, all these details will be removed because I have given the cascade type as all. Okay. So let me go and do it. So let me go to my Postman. So let me delete the one. So let's send the request. Okay. Oh, no. Wipro details I have deleted. Shit. Once again. Okay, these details are added. Okay, let me remove the info. Let's say Infosys. Send the request. Oh, the details are removed. Let me go to the SQL AG. Here, let me refresh. Let me go to the organization. See here, Infosys details are removed. Let's see the employee details, whether we can see the invoice related details are there or not. No, there are no info related details. That's what. Okay. So if you use cascade property as add, so it will add it, it will remove it, it will update it, it will get it as well. Okay. So as of now, we have seen add and what delete. So let me retrieve it. So I'll pass the organization name. So when I pass the organization name, all this employee data should be fetched. Now let's go and see. So get here, I'll pass the Wipro. Let's send the request. Now you should get the Wipro related details. Okay. So I might have given the Wipro as in small case. Let me check. Correct only. I can't see the response. Local of state 80, first tab, organization, Wipro should get the details. Why it is not getting it? Fine. So these are the ways we can do it actually. Let me check on that one as well. So what I'll do is, what I'll do over here is, let me, what I'll do over here is I'll say organization dot find by org name. So I'll give the org name over here. So it should retrieve the organization details now. Fine. Find by org name. Find by org name. That's fine. So find by org name, what it will return? It will return the organization details. Correct. So I forgot to implement that one. So now what I'll do is, now let me come to the postman. Let's send the request and check postmans are here. And so I'm getting the details now. Fine. So I'm getting the details. I got the Wipro and I got all the employee IDs actually. Ayan, Hayat, Sufyan, Akif. So that's all for now. In the next session, we will be seeing about the other ones. Okay.